Hi amazing teachers, this is your elementary video curriculum for May 19th and 20th, and I guess the first thing I just want to say is as I'm sitting here finishing a school play performance, waiting for my kids to get out of school and then go to another activity, and trying to find 3 minutes to tape this video, I am realizing of the sacrifices that you have all made too, because I know May is crazy. I know end of school and recitals and soccer games and graduation parties, and May is a little bit of like organized chaos a little in our life, and so I'm assuming it's a little bit like that for you too. And so I just wanted to say thank you so much. Thank you for sacrificing your time and just loving on these kids and helping them to grow in their spiritual development, even though your own lives may be a little bit hectic and crazy too. So thank you. Okay, so we're still in the parables, and this week we're going to be teaching the parable of the workers in the field, and that's from Matthew chapter 20, verses 1 through 16. And I think this parable is actually the hardest one we'll be teaching. The story itself is not hard. The kids are going to totally get the story, and the kids are going to feel what the workers in the field felt. But the heavenly purpose, the bigger meaning, I think it's a really big concept for our kids to understand, particularly because it deals with fairness, and the kids in elementary school at this age really are very focused on fairness. Are things fair? Are they being treated fairly? Are they getting the same that their teammate, their classmate got? And so what's really hard, but hopefully they'll walk away with a better understanding of, is that our definition of fairness doesn't always match God's definition, and that at the end of the day that we know that God is perfect and He is all good all the time, and that His way is always the best way. And so while we may not understand the gifts and the blessings that He bestows onto others, we know that God is good. And so our focus should be to focus our own eyes on the Lord and focus our lives on His will, and to focus on the blessings that He has given to us, and stop worrying about what everybody else has and just focus more on our relationship with God, because at the end of the day His grace is sufficient for all of us, and His grace is due and available to all of us no matter where we are in our life. And so none of us deserve it, and so it's absolutely not a fair situation, because it's not fair that God had to send His Son to die for each one of us. And so His grace is abundant and available for us all, and maybe is shown in different ways. And so that is a really hard thing to understand, that it may not always feel fair, but we can trust and rest in the fact that God is good, and that His gift is for each one of us. We each get to have an opportunity to have His gift of salvation, and the gifts that He's given us each individually. And I think one of the things that's important for us to understand about this particular parable is that Jesus, when He told His parables to different groups of different audiences, right? So sometimes He told it to the Pharisees, sometimes He told it to groups of people, sometimes He told it to His disciples. And this particular parable was meant for His disciples to understand that none of them are more important in God's eyes than any of them, right? So they're all even and equal in God's eyes, and God has equipped them each for different purposes, and none of them have a more important role or a more valuable role. That they're all valued to God in His own way, and He gets to dole out the blessings and the giftings and that sort of thing. So I think it's important for us to understand that, for us teachers to understand the context of why Jesus was telling this, because part of it was that He didn't want His disciples to be boastful and to be driven by ego and to be driven by their own good works, right? But rather that it's all because of and for Jesus. And so hopefully we can use that knowledge that we have to help impart some wisdom into our kids. So you're going to have it similar to all the other weeks. You'll have a craft, you'll have a game, an activity to open you up, and then you'll also have a video to go along, and some visuals this week as well to help with the concepts of the story. So again, thank you so much for all that you do, and we hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you again next week when we'll be teaching our last parable, which is the parable of the prodigal son. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you soon.